The Soviets put dogs on rockets, but why? Let's all bark into the cosmos on the next Vintage Retrospect. Hello, I'm your host Chad, and this is Vintage Retrospect, where I talk about all vintage spaceflight and the nostalgia around it. And well, you have asked for it, some Soviet content, finally! Before we can even talk about the R1, we must understand that the V-2 rocket started a post-Cold War tension. The Soviet Union sought German V-2 rocket scientists to harness their expertise in ballistic missile technology. Fearing a potential technological advantage for the Americans, the Soviets aggressively pursued these German scientists, including the head engineer of the V-2 program, Wernher von Braun. The race to secure these experts mirrored the broader Cold War competition, highlighting the strategic importance of rocket science in the geopolitical chess match between the two superpowers. Fast forward to the birth of the R1 rocket, an ambitious project that in essence stood as a remarkable copy of its predecessor, the V-2 rocket. What made the R1 truly stand out was its RD-100 engine, a derivative inspiration of the V-2 engine, the A4. The journey of this rocket began with a factory test at the end of 1947, followed by the stand test in May of 1948, and it showcased the dedication of scientists and engineers to replicate the success of the V-2. As the R1 evolved, later iterations introduced the 8D51 engine, pushing the boundaries of liquid fuel propulsion. In the field, the rocket required an intricate network of 20 vehicles and 4 kinds of liquid propellants for its main engine. The meticulous preparation process took about 6 hours, and despite objections from the Red Army generals who were strongly against using alcohol as a propellant, the R1 rocket proved its determination. The turning point came in December 1950 when the first field R1 unit was formed, solidifying the missile's place in military strategy. However, the R1 rocket was not limited to military applications alone. Variants of the missile were repurposed for technology and scientific tests, pushing the boundaries of our understanding of the cosmos. From using dogs and rabbits as live test subjects and zero-gravity indicators studying beyond the upper atmosphere and solar radiation, the R1A, R1B, R1V, R1D, and the R1YE variants showed the versatility of this rocket. These missions weren't just about military might, they were about expanding our knowledge of the universe. Just a brief rundown on what each R1 variant performed. The R1A rockets were specifically designed for testing separable warheads, laying the groundwork for future ballistic missiles such as the R2 and R3. Notably, the last 2 launches of the R1A were dedicated to vertical scientific flights, allowing for the sampling of the upper atmosphere. Moving on to the R1B and the R1V variants, their primary mission was the comprehensive study of cosmic rays, the upper atmosphere, and solar radiation. These rockets were equipped to carry recoverable biological payloads, and their innovative design allowed for the recovery of the entire missile by parachute, enabling future multiple uses for these pioneering space vehicles. The R1D rocket took on a different role, focusing on the study of Earth's atmosphere. It also focused into the intricacies of aerodynamics, examining test shapes at high velocities and altitudes. Additionally, the R1D explored wind patterns in the upper layers of the atmosphere and, of course, mysteries of the ionosphere. This variant also carried recoverable biological and instrument payloads, contributing valuable data to atmospheric research. Last but not least, the R1YE rocket was dedicated to a dynamic study of the Earth's atmosphere. It meticulously examined the solar spectrum, aerodynamics, and wind patterns in the upper layers of the atmosphere. Beyond that, the R1YE explored the ionosphere and the ozone layer. Similarly to the R1B and the R1V, this variant featured the recovery of biological specimens and the entire missile through parachute deployment, maximizing the scientific potential of each mission. The R1 rocket's stage data reveals its formidable capabilities. With a gross mass of 12,630 kilograms and an empty mass of 4,000 kilograms, the rocket boasted a thrust of 307 kilonewtons of thrust, Fueled by a liquid, oxygen, and alcohol propellant mixture for its initial engine, the RD-100 was a powerhouse, propelling the rocket to a maximum velocity of 1,465 meters per second. And that is Russian engineering, my friend. The story of the R-1 rocket is not just a tale of military prowess, but a testament to the relentless pursuit of scientific and the spirit of competition innovation. Let me know if you would like more vintage Soviet content on this channel. If you found the R-1 rocket a surprise that it was based on the V-2, please like and subscribe so that people who think the Soviet Union did not have a space program can find the truth on this channel. I am your host, Chad, and I will see you out on the launch pad.